It's the first time in 75 years that a jury in Pender County sentenced a defendant to the death penalty. It was also the first time a now veteran prosecutor, Ben David, ever saw a dead body. In tonight's Crimes of the Cape Fear, WECT's investigative reporter Ann McAdams looks back at the murder of Buddy Hall. Ann?
John, Buddy Hall was murdered more than 20 years ago, a decade before sexual orientation became a protected class for a hate crime. Hall was gay, and the man who killed him was straight. Terrance Campbell said he killed Hall in self-defense, a case of gay panic. On February 2nd, 2000, the normally peaceful community of Willard in northern Pender County was shaken to its core when Buddy Hall was brutally murdered inside his own home. Hall was a church organist and a closeted homosexual. The night he died, Hall went grocery shopping and had a chance meeting with Terrance Campbell. Campbell, who was recently released from prison, had just been kicked out of the house by his girlfriend and was effectively homeless.
Buddy and Terrance formed a friendship to the point where Buddy said, "You can stay with me tonight."
The two men ate dinner together at Hall's home and then watched TV. At some point, Campbell says Hall made a pass at him. Campbell, who is straight, said he panicked and killed him. But what happened afterwards made investigators question Campbell's story. The following day, employees at Kmart in Aiken, South Carolina, noticed Campbell sitting in a car in the parking lot watching people. After 4 hours, they found his behavior so concerning they called police. Officer Tracy Saxton was the first to respond and agreed something was off.
When I saw the bottles of urine in the vehicle, it indicated to me that he probably was hiding or did not want to get out of the car for some reason or another.
When Campbell could not produce his driver's license, Officer Saxton searched the car. She found a wallet that belonged to Buddy Hall and learned the car was his too. The odd circumstances prompted Officer Saxton to request a welfare check on Buddy Hall.
Pender Sheriff's deputies knocked on the door and then looked through the window and saw one of the most brutal crime scenes he'd ever seen, that they called back to Aiken and said, "Don't let him leave, we've got a murder up here."
Pender County investigators found Hall's body face down on the floor, covered in his own blood. 4 hours away, Aiken police arrested Campbell, who quickly admitted to killing Hall, but said he did it in self-defense.
If you look at the nature of Buddy's injuries, the blows to the back of his head, we believe it was a sneak attack. We don't believe that self-defense was the motive for this assault. We believe it was a straight-up murder. It was opportunistic. It was a way of luring Buddy back into his own house to basically be able to rob him blind and leave no witnesses.
And Campbell had a history of violence. His criminal record included 2 prior bank robbery convictions where he threatened to kill the tellers, and a brutal kidnapping and sexual assault on his estranged wife. Still, 20 years ago, prosecutors worried a jury might sympathize with Campbell's gay panic defense.
Terrance Campbell basically was alleging that Buddy Hall was worth killing. He was saying that he was beneath the law's protection. The jury completely disagreed. They not only convicted Terrance Campbell of first-degree premeditated murder and felony murder, but after a lengthy sentencing hearing, voted for the death penalty, the only death penalty in Pender County in 75 years.
Decades later, the now retired Officer Saxton remembers her work arresting Terrance Campbell as one of the highlights of her career.
It was a pretty big deal for me. I mean, I was still in what I consider to be my rookie phase. And, the fact that I was able to solve a murder before anybody even knew a murder occurred it was pretty significant to me. I think that the family of the victim would probably be appreciative of the fact that I went that extra mile to make sure that everything was okay.
Had she not, this crime may have never been solved. Campbell remains on North Carolina's death row. WECT attempted to interview him for this story, but due to staffing shortages, the state is not allowing on-camera interviews. Ann McAdams, WECT News.